Hey everybody. Well, it is 21 minutes after 9 p.m. on this Sunday evening, and I'm sitting in the driver's seat of my '07 Caliber. Decided to go ahead and shoot a brief video before I go in and hit the sheets. So I'm having a little bit of a problem with this car. Never had a problem like this with any other vehicles that I've ever owned. So I decided to kind of point it out and, I don't know, see if anybody else out there has experienced this. So I've got the engine running, lights are on, and my car says it's 58 degrees outside. Okay, so anyway, the headlights are on in the low beam setting, and I'm going to switch from low beam to high beam. And when you switch from low beam to high beam on a car, it should be a fluid transfer. The transition between low beams and high beams should be fluid, which means as quickly as the low beams cut out, the high beams should cut on. Completely fluid. So let's see here. You see that? That wasn't fluid. The low beams cut out completely, leaving me in the dark, and then the high beams cut on, as indicated by the high beam indicator. So now we're going to switch back from high beams to low beams. Same thing. It's not a smooth transition. It's a brief gap, admittedly, but that little bit of gap of darkness can be a really big deal when you're cruising down a little country highway at 65 miles an hour. That little bit of gap can be a big thing. So now I'm going to switch several times back and forth between low beam and high beam and see if the car will demonstrate the secondary problem that is, in my opinion, quite possibly more significant than this. So again, we're in low beam. There's no high beam indicator on. Alright. High beam. Low beam. Watch, it decides to work. Back in high. Ah, there we go. Okay, big problem. So I'm in low beam rather, and the headlights are out. The headlight switch is on, but there's no headlights. Now if I kick it back up to high beam, I've got headlights. I've got high beams, as indicated by the indicator. Kick it back to low beams, nothing. High beams work, low beams are crap. Now, if I turn the headlights off, they're gone, and I'm still in low beam, do this a couple times, it should come back on. At least it always has. There we go. Okay, so got our low beams working again. All I had to do was cut the headlight switch on and off 3-4 times, and it seems to work. Back in high, back into low. Car's only been doing this for a brief period of time. Now then, I got on Google briefly with my cell phone when it wanted to cooperate, and I found 3 possibilities, 2 of which are more likely than the other third. This being an '07, and we're in 2015, so the car is like 8 years old. Okay, so the one problem is the headlight control switch, the interface switch that goes between high beam and low beam. Talked to the guy at AutoZone. He said that's what it sounds like it is, and he gave me a price of anywhere, of course this was the auto parts store, anywhere from, like, I think it was $80 something if the car's not equipped with fog lights, up to $120 something if it is equipped with fog lights. So either way, I'm looking at a $100 bill to replace the switch. Now the second possibility is, I don't remember what they termed it. Basically, it's the BCM, body control module, which is, well, exactly what it suggests. It's the computer for the car itself, not the computer for the engine. So it's like the body's computer. And apparently on these newer cars, all the gadgets and gizmos, the headlights, the turn signals, the wipers, the controls for your heat and air, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, goes through a body computer. And apparently these Dodges, these Chrysler products, are prone to have problems with their body computer. At least that's the way I'm being told. Somebody suggested online to attempt to do a self-reset, to disconnect the battery cables, both the positive and the negative, let it set for 30 minutes. Somebody even said disconnect the cables and then touch them together. That's supposed to, I suppose, completely discharge all of the ions out of the system, all the electrons, whatever term you want to use. It was to completely discharge the entire system and thusly reset the BCM. Then they said, well, if that doesn't work, then you need to take the car into the Dodge dealership to have them hook it up and reset it internally. If that doesn't work, then I guess you're looking at replacing the body control module, which I have not yet priced it out. So I haven't really had time to do any further diagnostics or testing on the car. This has actually been my first day off in 6 or 7 days, and so I haven't had time really to do anything about it. But the third option, and the one I feel is, well, less plausible, is I've already replaced one headlight on the car. The driver's side headlight went out about a month ago, and I replaced it with a, cheap auto parts store headlight. It doesn't seem to be as bright as the one that came in the car, but somebody suggested that having mismatched headlights in the car, one being a brighter headlight, one being just a cheap generic store-bought, slam bam thank you ma'am kind of headlight, that there's something about having that mismatch that can cause problems. I don't foresee that as being real, but whatever. I mean, I don't know, all the modern stuff that they're doing with cars and making them so darn sensitive to this, that, and the other. I guess that really wouldn't surprise me too much. But anyway, so I'll post the video as soon as I get the opportunity to. And if anybody out there has a Dodge Caliber or any Chrysler product that has experienced this problem with the headlights not transitioning properly, and if they figured out, or if rather you guys figured out what it is, well, that one transitioned right, and now it's out. See, it's a game with these headlights. I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. You think you pay good money for a newer car rather than what I've done my entire life and bought them, at least with my previous cars I've bought, and I knew they had problems. Like 80% of the vehicles I've bought in the past for my own personal use were always the same thing: head gasket problems. You know there's a head gasket problem. You know what you're going to have to do basically to remedy the problem. You're going to have to buy the set. You're going to have to tear it down and pull the heads off, take the heads to machine shop, da 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 da. You know what that process involves because you've been through it a few times. But I ended up buying this car hoping to find a higher level of reliability than the last car I had, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, it rides better than my Neon did. It gets better fuel mileage than my Neon did. And up until now, I really haven't had any issues with it like I had with the Neon, which was broke down about as often it was on the road. But anyway, I'm trying to ramble now, and I guess I should go to bed. So anyway, there's the problem I'm having with my Caliber, the mysterious headlight problem. And I don't know, maybe somebody out there has had this issue in the past with another Chrysler car or the same car and figured out what it was. So the clock says it is 9:30, and that is my cue to call it a night and get ready to go to work in the morning. Joy, oh joy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Comments always welcome, especially if they're useful or helpful. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.